Hey, here we are, guys. I got the fellas with me. Yep, this is your guy, Adolphus AD Moore. Y'all probably sitting up here looking at, wait a minute. Everybody else is sitting back all nice and laid back, and I'm sitting up here with a towel. Let me give thanks to the Family of Faith. I'm at a function over here at the Family of Faith, the Life Center, and so that's why I got a towel. It's sort of ironic that last Sunday I was messing with Elwyn. Elwyn was watching his church service right before the game started, sitting up in the press box. Yep. I guess, and like he said, he's a son of a Baptist minister. So, like I say, we don't stray too far. We might stray, but we just don't stray too far.
Yep. So, I thought preaching tonight, AD.
No, I'm not preaching tonight. But anyway, if I was, I think Lovely Smith probably would love to. Right now, let me just go ahead and state: Texas win, Texas win, Texas win. They finally got off the snide. It wasn't a pretty victory, but they won. And so, you know what? And right now, going into the bye week, at least they'd have had that sweet taste of nectar in they crawl and don't have to be sitting up there salivating on another loss. But before we jump deep into the game, guys, let me go ahead and let our sponsor speak for himself.
Hello, I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community and being there when they need me. Insurance is important everywhere, but being here in South Texas, it is absolutely essential. From flood, home, auto, and life insurance, let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice.
That's right, guys. We are back. That's right. Don't forget the Ken Ross Agency, 281-235-5952. All right, fellas, let's jump into this. Texas win.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pretty one. Davis Mills didn't throw an interception today. For the most part, I went back. You know what I did? First thing I did, I went back and looked at the tackle totals, because for the last 4 games, the safeties have been the leading tacklers on the team. King was one of the leading tacklers. No, Petrie. I'm sorry. Petrie was a leading tackler today. But the linebacker stepped up earlier. You got a better play from the linebackers today. And for some reason, the Texans continue their mastery over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Williams, what do you think?
Well, I slept through the first half. I mean, it was lackluster.
You've been sleeping a lot through that game.
Man, I tell you, man, it's hard to watch. It's hard. It's kind of like that Thursday night football game we just had previous night. It was kind of hard to watch the first half for the Texans. It was dry, man. Offensively, the Texans didn't feel their way out. I thought that Davis Mills, I was trying to see the 2 second-year quarterbacks from Lawrence and Davis Mills, Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Davis Mills. He just felt Mills came out inconsistent offensively. The play calling was a little shaky, but hey, they relied on their running game, and it really helped them out in the second half, especially at the halftime with DP. Damian Pierce coming out, being aggressive, running that rock. You know, the Texans want to throw the football. I know Pep, as offensive coordinator, want to establish a passing game. I did see some bright spots with Nico Collins making some catches there in the second half, but I mean, from the first half to the second half, it just felt like the Texans improved, and they started with their running game. And give credit to the offensive line; they won the battle up front.
Yeah, Elwyn.
Well, a couple of things. First off, watching that game was, in layman's terms, about like watching grass. But 2 things that really stuck. Don't fall over, AD. 2 things that really stuck out to me. Number one, I thought Mills did manage the game well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Throw it away. He, like you said, he didn't do an awful lot really positive offensively, but he didn't do anything to hurt the team, and I thought that was big.
Yeah.
And the bigger thing yet, like you mentioned, Lemont, Damian Pierce, man, he's huge. And obviously the changes that Lovey made at linebacker was the big. And the bigger thing, they get this thing off of their shoulder now. And, you almost wish they weren't open and they could get back out on the field and play again next week. But they do have some positive momentum. So I think that's huge. And, another big thing, people I think are overlooking, the Texans are 1-3-1. But if you look at division records, the Texans have 0 losses in the division. All the other 3 teams have a division loss. They are 1-0-1 in the division. So this thing ain't over yet, guys. If they can build off of this momentum after the bye week, get some wins going, continue to play defense the way they are, and get that offense coming around a little bit better, these guys could still be in the race for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll concur. But I tell you what, I'm gonna take my hat. Last week, Kenyon Green, and the reason I'm not. Last week he had a bad game. I mean, I think as a rookie, and the Chargers worked over Kenyon Green real good last week. But I think he stood up, and answered the questions, and we had his comments on last week. This week, I'm gonna tell you something. The run game, and like Lemont, you're right. They took control of the line. They took control of that line of scrimmage, and with Dameon Pierce running he running like he was possessed. And I guess how far was with him? He was being home. I think the added factor, he was being at home, and he was able to. I think that added because he had a run that. I mean, he was almost like he came out on that one run that he just looked like nobody was gonna be able to stop him. He was stepping in and out of folks' chests. So I mean, hey, I give the young man credit, but I want to take my hat off to the offensive line and to Kenyon Green, who I think stepped up, and I think he's learned a lot. And I think he's going to continue to learn a lot. But I think, like he said, he got misused and abused last week. But I think he turned around and was one of the complimentary abusers this week, because it was interesting. I've been quite candid with you. I had some trepidations about them facing Jacksonville. For some reason, the Texans have been able to take control, and they've gone on I think the 7th or the 8th straight victory over Jacksonville. And I just thought that, and I'm like you, Lemont, it was interesting to see Trevor Lawrence going up against Davis Mills. Trevor Lawrence obviously was a top draft pick. Davis Mills come in the 3rd round, and I'm trying to figure out which one I don't want to say suck the worst, but I guess which one who has made the best progress. This game wasn't a great indicator of it, at least not in my opinion.
No, not at all.
So either it looked like both quarterbacks were second-year guys who were still trying to figure out, what do I do and where do I go from here?
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence had opportunities to put points on the board, and he threw that interception right there, the stinger. I mean, right there in the red zone. I mean, it was a bad play from the beginning. I mean, he scrambled and got out the pocket, and he should have just used his speed and his size to force his way into the end zone. But he just threw it right to stinger. That was a bad play, and it just felt like his decision making, his progressions wasn't there today either throughout the game, and it showed. He had 2 interceptions, and the fact that the Texans front 7 stopped him 3 times in the red zone, that's kudos to Coach Lovie Smith for their defense being prepared. And that front 7 stopping them in the red zone 3 times, because they could have got ugly if the Texans gave us some touchdown points.
Oh, without a doubt, guys. I thought from last week to this week, I think during practice, Lovey, I think he charged. I think he instigated. I think he charged up the defense, because that, to me, they're going to have to. And hopefully the offense will start to come around. Every time you think you're starting to see some glimpses of progress being made, you sort of wondering, okay, are they coming around? This week, I think Malik Collins. I thought he had some good rush. The front 4. You're not looking for a lot of. I'm not looking for a lot of tackles out of the front 4. But what I am looking for your gap integrity. And I think today, a lot of time in the red zone, and when they were able to stop the Jacksonville Jaguars was up front when they kept their gap integrity. I think today it stood out. To me, it was pristine on their gap integrity today in the way they were able to maintain and keep control between him, Roy Lopez, and the rest of those guys. Those three gaps today, to me, they earn their pay today, guys.
Oh, yeah.
As I'm concerned, they earn their pay today. I mean, I don't, I look at it. I looked at it very, when you start putting when you put the microscope on them, I'm not sure how they're gonna grade out. I don't know how the coach is gonna grade them out. But I think today, and the fact that Kirksey, looking at where he was from his tackle production standpoint, they done, don't do somebody else's job. I think they stuck to doing their own job. And so I think that was, to me, that was encouraging from last week, because really the way the Chargers came in here and just abused them last week, man. Yeah. I thought we should have went down there and filed charges on, for child abuse from last week.
I'll tell you what, AD, the big thing to me is although they didn't sack Lawrence, the defense had pressure on him several times. He did not sit back in the pocket and hunt for a second or third receiver. And I think that was huge in the game today, the fact that they were able to finally put some pressure, and literally pretty much throughout the entire game. And that's what they're doing every game in order to be able, as Coach Smith says, to finish.
Yeah. Oh, hey, man, look here. It'll probably be good to be tomorrow and go to the press conference tomorrow, or either what happened today. Yeah, they finished today. They literally, and in fact, Desmond King, that interception at the end, he finished with an exclamation. I almost thought he was going to try to take it all the way back to the house. But you know what? A wise man. But I think a maturity level showed up with him, because he said he could have took it back to the house. He could have really tried to take it back to the house. But realistically, he's like to say, hey, we got the game. I'm taking this rascal right on to the clock's over with. I'm running out of bounds. And you know what? I don't care whether you like it or not. And, maybe somebody might, I don't know what the numbers might have been in the fourth quarter, but from a gambling standpoint, but I take your hat off to him, and the fact that no sacks on Mills today. And so, I mean, you got to call it for what it was. Like I stated in the description of the show, it wasn't pretty.
No,
but you know what? I'm not worried about trying to be pretty right now, and I'm pretty sure those guys right now, this ball club needed a victory.
Yeah.
They needed it in the worst way, and so hopefully they can get some people back healthy. And maybe Davis Mills maybe need to get away a couple of days, and let's see what happens when he comes back next week. Because I still have hope that Pep can get him turned around, and we can starting to see some challenges. Because I think they still can be a contender. Elwyn, you being an eternal optimist, like you said, they still in contention for the AFC South. It's hard to believe, but they are.
Yeah. And I have two reasons. Well, no, three reasons. Number one, just like you, I've been covering the Texans since day one. Number two, of course, I'm a huge Lovie Smith, having watched him play high school ball. He's a year younger than me, growing up 15 miles south of where I grew up and still live. But the other thing, I've still got that plus 2,500 ticket on the check to win the
Lemont, what do you think off week? What do you think? I mean, let's sort of try to do some prognostication. I mean, obviously, we want to get guys healed up and What do you think? I mean, knowing Pep and there, what do you think they're going to try to go back? I know they're going to probably get away a day or two. What do you think they're going to try to go back and try to break some stuff down and come back with a different approach for Davis Mills?
I think that what they're going to do, they have enough film now. Because you kind of break down your schedule on half, so you're kind of like the first half of your season, then you have your bye week. Then a lot of coaches said this is our second half of the season. So with that being said, they have enough film for David Mills to see his pros and cons. And knowing Pep, he's probably going to go in there and try to enhance more of the pros. It's kind of hard to evaluate that going into the season out of training camp, because to me, training camp is not like it used to be. It's kind of a few preseason games, and you're just thrown in the mix. Now they got live film on them, so I think they're going to try to get him more of the play action. I think he likes the 21 look. I think when they have the two backs in the backfield, it works for him, the fullback as well as DP. I think they want to implement a little bit more of the tight end play. The fact that you saw that great catch by Akins. Was it
Yeah,
Akins? Akins had that
yeah,
catch.
yeah.
Yeah, and you got OJ Howard. So I think they're going to try to implement some more of the play action pass, similar to what we saw. Excuse me, we saw with Andrew Luck over there in Indianapolis Colts. Try to draw you in, drop the linebackers, try to drop it in behind them as well. But I think the Texans, like you said, they've been playing hard throughout the last couple of games, and they finally got the victory. First thing first, they're going to try to enjoy this and try to build up the momentum coming out after the bye week. But you want to get Davis Mills to be able to get that, have him think less, because I heard on the radio, or it was the radio, I think I heard on the radio today that he had a little bit, like he's not used to, like, he doesn't have a lot of snaps. His resume doesn't
No,
show that he has a lot of
no,
snaps. So
no.
with that being said, you want to continue to let him build his resume, but at the same time, don't put him in a position where he got to think too much, because you've seen plays where he's overthinking and end up being an interception to the opposite team.
And
Yeah.
I hate to use the term AD and Lemont, but during this time off, like you said, Lemont, they've got plenty of film on him. Look at the strong points. But the biggest thing, I think, looking back over these first 5 games before the bye week, I think they expected too much from him too quickly.
Yeah.
Put too much of the offense in, and probably not the best way to describe it, but I think they need to dumb the offense down and cut a number of plays out, and until it starts growing more, just go with the plays that he can execute well, as you said, Lemont, without having to overthink.
Yeah.
And excluding that Thursday night game, that last week's Thursday night game, I'm sitting up here watching. Nico Collins had a nice high ball catch today. I'm looking to see more of what Nico. We know about Brandon Cook, but I think it's time to start work. It's time for me to start seeing some of the rest of the receivers. I mean, we don't have anybody that's going to scare anybody, but I think personally, I would like to see Pep start putting some people in motion, because to me, if I'm a defensive coordinator, the Texans are probably one of the easiest teams right now for me to just sit there and because I'm gonna load up 7 or 8 in the box, because I'm not worried about the folks on the outside.
No,
I'm just be candid with you guys. I mean, I think you got to start doing. I want to start seeing some people in motion. I want to start seeing moving some people around. I mean, heck, come out in a 3 tight end set and scare the hell out of everybody. It may look. I'm just looking for things different. I'm looking, because looking at these, like you mentioned, these first 5 games, if I'm being the defensive coordinator, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of sleeping time, because I don't have to worry about, okay, I got to worry about him, and him. Who do I have to worry about now? I mean, be quite candid with you. Right now, if I stop Damian Pierce, I don't pretty well put the kibosh. I don't put the kibosh on the Texans right now, because don't seem like I can get no receivers. Brandon Cook right now, they aren't, nobody's scaring me on the outside. And I think you got to finally start getting me some people there. Hey, let's take a quick break and let me have it from our sponsor. Then we coming back, guys.
Hello, I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community and being there when they need me. Insurance is important everywhere, but being here in South Texas, it is absolutely essential. From flood, home, auto, and life insurance, let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice.
Yeah, that's right, guys. 281-235-5952. I want to say it was the spirit that made the 30-second clock come on, but it wasn't. It was my wild fingers. It was me. I think the spirit. I think the spirit touched me or something. I don't know. All right, guys. Go ahead, Elwyn.
Speaking of spirit, AD, it just dawned on me something you said a while ago. It's real appropriate that you're in church because you said something about scaring the hell out of you. That happens when you go to church, as you know. Right place, brother.
Okay. I asked for that one all the way. I asked for that one all the way. All right, guys. Bye week coming up. Elwyn, thoughts on the bye week?
Well,
I've already given you pretty much some of my thoughts on the Texans. Your thoughts, and then Lemont. Let's get to the bye week.
Well, the first thing I think, just like we've already discussed, you got to give the guys 2 or 3 days away. You're not playing Sunday. My thought would be you come back in maybe Thursday and look at the film. Give them 3 days off. Look at the film. Come back in. Go through maybe a mini practice on Friday, and then maybe start just a little bit of early reflections on the Raiders. And by the way, I can't remember if I told you guys or not, but Friday, the 21st of October, 2 days before the Texans hit the field again at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, I finished my last radiation treatment. And I'm by going to Las Vegas, and I will be at Allegiant Stadium to cover that game between the Texans and the Raiders, just to enjoy being past this. And I'm hoping to see them put a big whooping on the Raiders.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lemont, what
was the question again? I'm sorry, AD.
No, I was just wondering your thought process is going into the bye week. What do you anticipate, for them? Obviously, I think we all of them, they need to get away. But just moving forward, how would your prescription from moving forward, trying to come back in and try to take this one victory and turn it into a second victory and so forth?
Well, we know Lovey's big on family time, so he's going to give him a couple of days, spend with family and kind of regroup and kind of get recharged. Defensively, if I was a defensive coordinator or leading the defensive charge, if I was Levy, I'll get guys in there a little bit earlier, try to get them get into some film, and they don't hit a lot anymore. So no. So they're not hitting at all. So
no.
It's all mental now. So maybe get a chance to get in the gym, the weight room, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of tough to say now that they don't hit anymore. So it's kind of like from a defense perspective, I guess, to just watch film and break it down and see, where can he improve at the linebacker position. Hopefully they got a few guys deemed up in the linebacker position. I want to say that 3rd round pick that they had. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, you talking about from Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Everybody's waiting. Yeah, I think everybody's is anticipating seeing him.
Hopefully he can get back on the roster and get going. Offensively, I like what I saw of Nico. I thought Nico did a really good job. Maybe get some complimentary receivers in, check the waiver and see who's out there. But that's pretty much it there. I mean, at this point, they got a victory, like you said, and they can ride that coming out off the bye week, start over, hit the reset button.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know what? Every time when I keep hearing that, you said they are still they still a captain of their own faith in the AFC South, and that's crazy to believe. But that tie right now, that tie is a benefit to them.
Yes.
As much as you sick to see. So I don't know. I can say I'm give them their kudos. It's a victory, and you know what? It is beast talking about another loss, and so in that aspect of it, as he going to the bye week. Because man, I'm gonna tell you something. If we'd have had to go to the bye week, and looking at that game, and as I stated, it's not a whole lot to write home about. But in this case, all we can keep saying, well, Damian Pierce, this, and this. There were a lot of bright spots, and I think we've been seeing a lot of bright spots. Yeah. So in this case, today they finished. Everybody keep from Lovey on back. He said we got to learn how to finish. We got to learn. You know what? Today they finished. And so, you know, in that aspect of it, you know, hey guys, I got a comment came in. Mills, it says Mills ain't gonna take them nowhere, and that's from Front Runner. All right, Front Runner. Like I said, I appreciate you chiming in, but you know what? At this point right now, who else will you? I mean, unless nobody out there on the waiver wires.
No,
I mean, here it is what we have. That's what we have right now.
Yeah.
And now, if can he improve? Can he give the Texans a reason not to want to go quarterback shopping? Can he give the Texans a reason not to make OJ Stroud their first pick if they happen to be there? Don't know. I don't know. Quick sidebar, guys, and before we get ready to run out of here, Lemont, I know you a big HBCU guy. Did you see the mix up between Dion and Eddie Robinson after the game?
Yeah, I knew you was going there.
Yeah, you know I had to, man. Come on.
I saw it. You know what's funny? I have mixed feelings about it because I can see from both sides how Eddie can be offended. Because you gotta understand, a lot of people don't know the backdrop is that Eddie Robinson was just hired in as the head coach.
Right, at
Junior.
Alabama State. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of that stuff that took place prior to him, he's wasn't on his watch. So I can see how he can be offended from this previous week and from what the comments that Coach Prime said about a money game and all that stuff. But then he also have to understand Coach Prime is a salesman. I mean, he's always going to sell a game, even if there's opportunity for get more eyeballs on the game. So I can see how both, I can go. Yeah, but he did shake his hand. It wasn't like he didn't shake his hand.
No, he shook his hand.
Yeah, he just didn't want to do the bro hug on him.
No, he wasn't gonna do that. He wasn't gonna do that. Like since I'm in church, he wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna do that sister hug with him, a brother hug. He wasn't gonna give him the brother. He said, no.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was upset because Prime walked through his line, and I mean that's a protocol. That's about an etiquette thing because normally, and when the teams are out there, the coaches stand at the 50-yard line and they make nicety. I mean, because Jimbo and what made nice last night? Nick Saban made nice last, even though they probably wanted to pull out knives and start stabbing one another. But you know what? But the professional side of it, and I think that's the one thing. You don't want to see it, but you can. I don't want to necessarily see it. You want to see because that image. Folks that certain image that folks have a tendency to want to run with it. But I think in this case, and I understand because, like I said. Because I know Prime was talking noise. How daddy can schedule us for a homecoming game.
Yeah.
Like I'm insulted. I'm going like, you got to be somebody's homecoming game.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. Come on, Prime. But anyway, but I'm glad you see. He was. Yeah, I mean, we had to. I think we're gonna talk. This is primarily on the pro side, but like you said, that was when we had to touch bases on that one, guys.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Elwyn, I mean, Red River Shootout. I mean, it was enough football yesterday. With Oklahoma.
That wasn't even a game.
Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, I started. I was going through game after game. I tell you, I was trying to watch the Red River Shootout. Then I was trying to watch the Ohio State University and Michigan State and all like them. And after, I looked up there. I even had to go back and go like, I forgot about it. I just finally looked up and saw what the final score was. I mean, because it was out of sight. It's almost like that U of H and Memphis game because the Friday night, man. Because I was sort of like about ready to go, and I looked up. They won. Yeah. I didn't really. I mean, it was one of those situations. But hey, folks, as we get ready to wrap this. No, I'll get back to you, Elwyn. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you talking about the Red River Shootout. Have y'all seen the updated top 25 today?
No, I haven't paid attention to it. Go ahead.
I nearly passed out when I looked. They got Texas at number 4.
What? Wait a minute. Back up. Which Texas? University of Texas?
Yeah,
Number 4 in the nation?
yeah. One of the the updated top 25 polls.
This
Because
not
they beat
this
that
not this not the
yesterday.
coaches poll, is it? This not the coaches poll, is it?
No, it's not the coaches.
Oh, okay.
The AP 25 poll.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A beat down, yeah, 49-0, but a beat down of a team that this year is horrible. I could not believe they jumped up in rankings like that.
But they were out of the top 25 last week.
I know.
You sure that wasn't a Halloween joke? Or
Well,
how do you fall out and go to the top 4? I don't understand that one.
it showed Alabama still number 1, Georgia number 2, Ohio State number 3.
Well, hey, I don't know. Hey, front runner, he came back with another play calling seems limited. Yeah, well, it seems limited. I mean, because when you struggling trying to produce points, and they have produced a lot of points, play calling will look kind of limited. Like I said, I think we've all sort of through what we would like to see the Texans and Pep come back with next time. And like I said, I want to see some motion in this offense. But anyway, guys, final closing comments, Elwyn, then Lemont.
Well, again, it's great to see them get the monkey off the back. The whole team deserved it. Lovey deserved it. The Texans fans deserved it. In a way, I hate that they didn't get it at home last week for the fans, but now it re-energizes everybody. So I think that's a big plus going into the bye week.
Lemont.
Yeah, it was an old school win for the Texans today. They won the battle up front offensively with the O-line, running the football over 100 yards, and defensively. Their front 7 did a great job. Their front 4, especially in the red zone, shutting out the Jaguars 0-3 in the red zone. That's huge on the road, especially for a team like the Texans.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. And when, like I said, it was on the road. Tip your cat to them. They got it. And you know what? Let's take some time off. We'll be doing something next week. I'll figure out what we're gonna do next week on the bye week. But Elwyn, appreciate it. Hey man, Godspeed with your last treatment coming up. Lemont is always MVP. Why you rolling that next weekend?
I gotta buy this week too. So
how did y'all arrange that? Hey guys. Anyway, hey, don't forget the folks that's on the Houston Roundball channel coming up in about 23 minutes. Folks Talking Sports will be coming on that channel. Like as you stated, you're seeing the AD Max Korner on both channels. If you have not subscribed, if you're watching me on the AD Max Korner YouTube channel, please subscribe. And if you're over on the Houston Roundball Review channel, subscribe over there. And if you already subscribe over there, jump back over here to the AD Max Korner channel and subscribe. And you know what? We need the folks. We need to play. Hey, we appreciate all of you. We appreciate the comments. Front runner, don't be a stranger. Come back again. And so, hey, guys, without further ado, I appreciate you guys, and I'll be catching you down the road.
I'm great.
Okay? All right. Y'all take care. All right, folks, this is it. This is your man. This is Adolphus AD Moore, and I want to appreciate the family of faith for allowing me having a room, being able to come in here and put my show and being able to talk a little Texan football with you, talk football, period. I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Godspeed. And remember the booster shots out there. Take advantage of them. If you got children, they got shots for the children. I've already had my shot, and like I say, that's a personal thing. But COVID is not over with. We're going into the winter months, so take advantage of the opportunity. So, without further ado, this is your man, Adolphus AD Moore, signing off. Peace, ciao, and I'm out of here.